Recently, I was invited to be a chief guest at a function in one of the institutions. There, I was very surprised to be introduced as a person who received his PhD from the University of California and later attended the advanced management program at Harvard Business School and also was awarded the Rajiv Gandhi National Award and so on and so forth. These are all, I was very surprised listening to this. I thought they were introducing somebody else. I had never been to University of California. I am a PhD from Sardar Patel University. I never received a Rajiv Gandhi Award. I have, of course, some other awards. And I never went to Harvard Business School for any program. I went to Harvard University at the invitation of David C. McClellan. Now, I could immediately guess that this is a detail that was downloaded using probably ChatGPT. This is the consequences of what the artificial intelligence, machine intelligence, advances in the new technology that are doing to our society. In my view, ChatGPT and all these innovations are based on whatever knowledge is available from internet, Google, and various other sources. I am reminded of GIGO in the olden days when computers came. They used to say that if you put in garbage, there will be garbage out. So whatever garbage exists in the internet, Google, and all the other things, if you use programs like ChatGPT, you are likely to get garbage. I think, why do you need garbage? Why don't you simply ask people, either I think to standard biodata to be circulated, or even ask them to just say something about themselves. Then they can't tell lies. But this raises to another question, that what is this so-called artificial intelligence and other technological developments are doing? I have begun to feel these are all things that will damage our society, because it takes away, howsoever you may say, it will facilitate human happiness, it will remove drudgery in jobs, it will create better involved jobs, it is good for HR, and then keep quoting so many other things. I strongly believe that there is no need for any artificial intelligence of the kind that we are talking of. This is because I think human beings are intelligent. All artificial intelligence we are talking of is nothing but collective intelligence of human beings. I think we should use our collective intelligence for the good of for the society, rather than putting it into a machine form and using this with the pretension that it is going to do great to the good of the human beings. I think anything of this kind that we invent and put it to the hands of people, it is likely to be commercialized and utilized largely for profit-making purposes, which run the risk of being anti-human. Now there is a new program which introduces you to something like a virtual reality, introduced by one of the well-known manufacturers of computers, mobiles, and so on. This will introduce you to virtual reality, where you put this headgear on and then you start seeing wonderful things. So when you put this gear and then start experiencing reality, what are you experiencing? So it will take you to Kashmir and then expose you to a nice apple tree, and then you are plucking the apple and then you are eating the apple. You feel as though you are in Kashmir and eating the apple. Whereas with this virtual reality, you want to get the feeling of doing all of it. Just have an apple in front of you, you are eating, but you are feeling as though you are in Kashmir. We don't know what more artificial things are going to come up here in creating virtual reality. I feel that this is going to be a big blot on the society. Why do you need to feel that you're going to Kashmir and then using virtual reality, plucking apples from a tree, and then get a feeling that you are really eating and things of that kind? I think you don't need to do any of these things. I think if you want to go to Kashmir, go to Kashmir. If you want to go and see an apple tree, see an apple tree. If you want to pick up an apple from outside world, pick up the apple and eat it. I think we are creating all these things to create more conflict in the society, more leave human beings from being human and act like machines. I think this is a very dangerous kind of a thing. I'm not saying therefore all artificial intelligence is bad. I think if you used any collective intelligence not only of human beings, I think they can be used to predict the weather changes. They can be used to predict information about the entire, I think, uh, uh, health diagnostics that a person, human being has had, so that I think whenever you have diseases, you can predict maybe heart issues, maybe you can predict all kinds of future health issues and things of that kind if they are used properly. But all this requires documentation, very well laid out purpose and documentation of all correct kind of an information. Where in an information society, the information generated itself is a questionable nature. Perceptions are more important than information, and information is being used to promote perceptions. I think artificial intelligence, machine intelligence, and all the technological developments are likely to be more used as anti human tools by a few who have access to this and few who can afford to buy. And probably they are likely to destroy the society. So, friends, my suggestion to you would be to only to produce those things which are useful for the society and use those things for useful purposes rather than to keep creating virtual reality, not actually seeing a professor and wearing a headgear and saying I am actually interacting with a Harvard professor who is somewhere living, but I have actually interacted with him, shook hands with him, and kidding yourself with all things that does not exist. We don't know, I think, in future what is going to be the nature of the biographies that are going to be created. I think you're probably not going to say with how many Nobel laureates you have shaken hands. In reality, by met them, interacted with them, in reality you may not have done anything of this kind. I think one has to be cautious. This is to caution the use of technology tools, and please think carefully. I am not against AI. I am not against use of any of these, but I am certainly against using robots to replace manpower and create a lot of unemployment issues and things like that. I hope my thoughts make sense. Please put your comments in the YouTube. If you don't agree, it is not necessary that you have to agree with me. You can point out many good advantages as well as disadvantages of AI. Thank you for listening to this conversation.